Good evening. Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this evening. Celtic, let's get some of the headlines around some of the mainstream media and publications around the UK and further afield to the reaction of Celtic 3, Aberdeen 1. It was a game of definitely two halves. It was a game in the first half where Celtic hit the post no less than 3 times, and the Aberdeen goalkeeper had an absolutely fantastic game. I think the Aberdeen goalkeeper realistically was man of the match, but the Celtic manager also spoke to the media after the game. Let's get his thoughts on the game.
Wilfried, many congratulations. How does it feel to have your first win as Celtic manager?
I'm happy for the players. I think that today, like I said before, we deserve more wins, but it didn't happen. And tonight, the players did really well in terms of obviously the goal that we scored, especially the first one. I like it because we lost the ball and we had a lot of. We were really good on the defensive transition, and for me, this is important to see that. And especially also the goal that we conceded for the 1-1 against 10 men was not easy, but they showed again resiliency. And yeah, we hit 5 times the post. I've never seen that in my life, but this is the way it is. Since I came, I think that we deserve more. But again, like I said before, I can see an improvement every games. And tonight, well, I'm happy for the players because they deserve it.
Hearts.
Are you happy for the players? Are you happy for the manager? Has that game today ultimately bought the manager time, much needed time that he sees in his Celtic career? A lot of people, when it got to 1-1, were obviously shouting the fact that they wanted the manager to go, and quite rightly so. But Kieran Tierney heading from the back post, James Forrest scoring again, his 17th season at Celtic, and he just keeps on going. Many players get lots of stick up playing for Celtic. James Forrest has had plenty of stick over his career, but the fact that he has scored again has to be a good thing for the manager.
Won earlier on today. They, for a little while, extended their lead that a little bit further. You managed to narrow the gap a little bit again. Do you feel you are in a position where you don't need to chase them and you will soon be able to be level and take what many supporters see should be Celtic's spot at the top of the table?
We chase anybody. We chase, the idea is to compete with yourself, and after that the standing we'll see it. So the standing we're going to control it. Is the performance that we had tonight give us the possibility to come back and to come back and to come back. So we try to give our best, the way we play individually and collectively, and after that we'll see where we're going to be in the future.
We don't chase anyone, says Wilfried Nancy. Some of the Celtic media, let's jump on to the Independent and give you the headlines of some of the media around. It's not that one. It is this one. We'll just run around. This was the Independent. Celtic boss ends losing run with a late victory over 10-man Aberdeen. Kieran Tierney, James Forrest secured the 3 points, but with those players scoring for Celtic, it was the late show which ultimately also put paid to any anti-board sentiment that was growing within the fans until the last 10 minutes of the game when Celtic ultimately won it. Heading over to the Aberdeen end of Scotland, Celtic 3, Aberdeen 1. The big talking point as Don's 7-year win drought at Parkhead continues. Aberdeen were reduced to 10 men in the late first half after a young lad was red carded. Listen, he was the last man. He was a red card all day long. If you impede a player that is bearing down on goal and you're the last man, you get sent off. So I don't think that Aberdeen can really have anything. Was it unfortunate? Like it happens in football. But anyway, move on from that. Yahoo! The other one says Wilfried Nancy secures his first Celtic win as Celtic boss after a late goal. Deny Aberdeen. It was a late 2 goals, actually. But I think when you look at the goalkeeper for Aberdeen today, and look, when you hit the post 5 times in a game, you're thinking maybe it's not your day. Look at the Irish Examiner. Wilfried Nancy secures first win as Celtic boss after late goals. Deny 10-man Aberdeen. Nancy has been under pressure after his Celtic reign with 4 straight defeats. That ended today. Tell me in the comment section, do you think that has given the manager time? We obviously play Livingston in the next game and then Motherwell. we've bought ourselves a bit of a gap between ourselves and Motherwell, 5 points. I think going forward, they're all must-win games. We don't chase anyone, said the Celtic manager. Can we think the unthinkable? Can Celtic go on to win the league after being so far behind this season? It would be an almighty comeback if we did. The Scotsman, they report that 10-man Aberdeen caused panic before with the goal before the champions rally with a late couple of goals. It was that. And then we go to Aberdeen Live. 10-man Aberdeen suffer first league defeat in 2 months with a late dominant display. Celtic were completely dominant, let's face it. Celtic were all over the park. Celtic were playing a lot better after the manager had us playing decent football. I'm not going to say that it was the type of football that, we're used to seeing, but look at the state of the squad. Look at the players that we had on the bench. It was a very weak bench. You're having a 22-year-old striker as your number one striker. Never at Celtic have we ever had such a young striker as our main and only striker. You can talk about Dyson Maeda being striker. He's not really. He's better as a winger, isn't he? We need, at the next window, to bring in at least a minimum of 2 strikers. Forget about Kelechi Iheanacho. He's on the sick note far too long. I think that he's going to be out for another couple of months. So we need to bring in at least 2 strikers to help out young Johnny Kenny going forward, and to make sure that we get back in contention to winning this league this year. If we do win the league this year, it'll be a remarkable turnaround. Hearts tonight are sitting top of the table with 41 points. Celtic are sitting on 35. Motherwell with a game played more, and so is Hearts. They've played a game more than Celtic. Celtic could still close the gap with their game in hand over the next couple of weeks. Motherwell sitting on 30 points. Rangers on 29. And Aberdeen behind them. It's been some old day when it comes to Celtic. Tell me your thoughts in the comments. Some of the comments online. Thank goodness if you're not of the meltdown across the city has been pretty phenomenal to watch, actually, because Danny Rowe needs to. Is basically a German Russell Martin. Tell me your thoughts when it comes to the Celtic result. Tell me your thoughts about Kasper Schmeichel. Kasper Schmeichel was the goalkeeper that didn't have a lot to do today. And when he went one-on-one with the Aberdeen player, once again, it's a goal. We can go all the way back to the Scottish Cup final back in May, where a goal come off the underside of Schmeichel's hand and went into the back of the net. The exact same happened today again. Should Sinisalo be getting the shout before Kasper Schmeichel? And how many players do you think that we need in the next transfer window? I'll still go by 7. I think that we need a minimum of 7 players to come in the next window, just to get this squad over the line in what we need. And we also need improvements on the bench, because the bench today was absolutely woeful. Anyway, that's me done and dusted for this evening. I shall see you bright and early tomorrow morning. On that note, have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.